Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Southern Shell. Shell, it was your birthday this week. Did you have a happy birthday?
Yeah, it was.
29
I don't
years
like
young.
you telling folks.
29 years young.
I'm 42 years old.
Hey, you're embracing it. You're embracing those early 40s.
Hey, I don't have a
I
problem
blew
getting
right
older.
through the 40s.
Yeah.
I'll be 47 this year, so.
I don't really have a problem getting older. I've got more money. I've got more.
That's always important.
I'm a wiser.
More beautiful. Age like mine.
I still know how to have a good time. I'm okay getting older.
Just takes long to recover from those good times.
Yeah.
We'll leave that at that. Yeah. Hank was right. Hurt more than they used to, don't they?
My shoulder's been acting up.
Shoulders. You start getting one of them sleep wrong injuries. Man, I slept wrong last night. Who knew sleeping? It's supposed to recharge you. Who knew it could hurt you?
That part sucks. Part sucks.
Getting out of bed a little slower.
We went and saw the Bulldogs beat the Memphis Tigers in baseball.
We did. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Beautiful night at the ballpark. It was my first ball game this year, so
yeah,
enjoyed it.
The Memphis Redbird Stadium is a beautiful stadium. It's really, really nice.
Right downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Smell the rendezvous cooking from there.
Yeah. It's a really, really pretty stadium. They built it, 20 years ago?
Man, it's been there a while, yeah.
I remember it had just opened when I moved here.
Maybe, or was it then? Late 90s? Something like that. I can't, Mikey asked me what was there before. I couldn't remember. I don't know.
We survived the threat of tornadoes. Did a tornado ever happen yesterday?
Yeah. They had some. There's a warehouse in Southaven that the roof collapsed on.
Oh, really?
I saw that. Not far from where I grew up, right there from my parents' house. Yeah.
Everything.
Waylon was my mom texted me, said, Waylon's in his closet under the stairs. Vaughn was out shopping. He was taking shelter somewhere in Germantown.
I think it said there were like 3 or 4.
I had the door open watching. Yeah. They don't scare me too bad.
I can sleep right through them.
Yeah. Was it bad in Coldwater?
I think they said there were like 3 or 4 in the area, but I don't know if they were just, I think they must have just been radar stuff.
I saw some fences blown down. I mean, I get my news from Facebook. So that's where whatever people reporting there, the news goes crazy and DirecTV gets knocked out. So,
I mean, they let the kids out of school early.
Oh yeah. I think any excuse they can do it. I never remember the weather people, the schools, anything acting like they do for weather now. If there is a mention that we might have a possibility of a little weather situation, it's like all panic ensues. I mean, for real, they just try to incite panic on the populace. I mean, it's true. I mean, it didn't storm until 4:30. Kids would have been through with their homework by then, by the time they got home. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. We didn't close the shop. Austin said he was staying up here.
He stayed put.
Yeah. I mean, they said it picked up. It rained hard. There's some wind, but, it's where we live. It's not going to change.
So we survived that. This week we did spicy jalapeno ribs.
Yeah, I cooked on that new Traeger. Traeger released a new cooker. Was it yesterday? Wednesday. We were recording this on Thursday, so yeah, they released it yesterday. It's the, I guess you'd call it the
Traeger Timberline XL is what they're
latest
calling it.
and greatest top of the line offering from Traeger.
So do you want to?
They hadn't released a new one for a while, but.
Do you want to talk about the grill first or the recipe?
We'll talk about the recipe first.
Okay.
So, getting at that, they contacted me and said, hey, you got to cook on one? I was like, yeah, I'd love to. I mean, we don't really do reviews, but I'll do a recipe on it, using it, and show some of the features of it. Yeah. So that's kind of the approach I took on it.
And that's what they said. They basically said, we're going to give you one of these brand new grills.
That's right.
If you do a video on it and release it
on that
Wednesday.
Day.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did. I mean, I'm all about something new, shiny, and expensive and free. That's got all the qualities that I want. And free being important too.
Yeah.
but I've been wanting to do like a version of a spicy jalapeno rib for a while. I just hadn't done one, and it was a great time to do it. And so, really, I just I took the approach of a sweet and spicy rib. That's what it was. So went to the store, bought a rack of St. Louis cut ribs.
Where'd you get those ribs?
At Kroger. I didn't get anything fancy. They were just meaty, decent, straight bone ribs.
What brand were they? Do you know?
I think it was Swift.
Oh, really?
It wasn't anything fancy.
It wasn't moist and.
It was the only ones they had. Kroger had St. Louis cut spare ribs, and so took the membrane off the back, squared them up a little bit, trimmed a little of the fat, but I kind of like that fat on my spare ribs. I don't like competitions. You don't want judges to see fat and all that, but if you'll notice on that wreck of ribs, it had some top fat on it. It gets melty and fatty and delicious to me when you cook it. It almost melts in your mouth. So it don't bother me. But season those ribs with Heath's garlic jalapeno rub.
Yep.
It's an awesome rub if you've never used it.
I find myself using it more like in kitchen cooking than barbecue.
Yeah, because I mean it's like a AP. It's
heavy
not,
garlic with a little heat.
And then
with
took out the black
jalapeno.
pepper and added the jalapeno flavor.
Yeah.
And it's not overpowering jalapeno, but it's a subtle. It's got plenty of heat to it. Like, don't shake it up and breathe it because it'll pepper spray yourself. But it's really good. It's got a nice flavor to it. And then I used the barbecue rub for some, barbecue flavor, some color. It tastes great on its own anyway. So can't be bad, right?
So you kept that part really simple. It's just those two rubs.
That's it. That's all you needed. You could use any barbecue rub, but you need the jalapeno seasoning. So I would say, if you're gonna buy one, buy a Heath, and then use your favorite rub. If you want to be the best, use the barbecue rub.
Or you could buy some jalapeno powder and mix it in with some rubs.
Yeah, can you get that? Have you looked and seen?
I know we got it from Townsend one time.
Yeah. It's stout. Man,
maker.
you got to watch it though. Yeah, straight jalapeno powder or flavor is hot. It's hot. 'Cause I made the mistake. That's how I know I pepper sprayed myself using that, playing with that stuff. And Heath got a batch one time, and he said something they used a powder instead of a granule or something in his when he was first getting it made, and it made a hot batch. And
he was
it
pepper
was
spraying everybody.
He was pepper spraying everybody. Yeah, it was super hot. But when he got to his final product, it's not. It's heat, but it's subtle and it's got good flavor. So
that's one thing I like about the jalapeno powder is that it does taste good.
Yeah.
You get the heat, but you get a lot of good flavor.
That's
with
right.
it too.
That's right. And it's a little different than using just straight black pepper for heat or cayenne.
Yeah. But anyway,
if you want to make them hotter, hey, add some cayenne to it, or throw some habanero in there or something. You could definitely make it hotter, crushed red. That'd been good to add to it. But I wouldn't go in for like burn you down style. I wanted that jalapeno flavor, and I wanted the sweetness to kind of offset it or go along with it.
So you get the sweet, you get the heat.
Yeah.
So you smoked them. How long did you smoke them
Smoked
for?
them, started out on super smoke, 225. Really wanted to drive some smoke flavor and build that nice smoke ring on both sides of a rib. And they went for about 2.5 hours till the rub just kind of sets on the meat to where I didn't spritz them or anything. I just let that rub adhere to it. No binder on the ribs, just straight seasoning on the ribs. And at 2.5 hours, that rib, I could take it with my finger and rub it, and nothing came off. And so that's what you want to see. At that point, it's time to get them tender. So I did add some heat to the wrap. I used Mike's Hot Honey. This is where we started bringing in that sweet element because we were going to protect them, wrapping them up, put a few pats of butter down, bunch of Mike's Hot Honey, and then I wanted some liquid in there, and I needed a little bit of vinegar to go with the sweetness to kind of cut it. And I like that. Normally I like to use vinegar sauce on the wrap. But instead of that, I used some pickled jalapeno and sweet pickled juice. So I've got a product called Sweet Fire. You see it called Cowboy Candy or just sweet
pickled jalapenos
would work. Any of that would work to get that element. So you get the flavor of the jalapeno, but you get the acidity from the vinegar in there, and it's got some sweetness to it too.
I like how you use that pickle juice for the vinegar element in the wrap.
It was really good, and I'd never done that before, but I could see doing that even with dill pickle juice. I think dill pickle juice would be good in there. Give it a little different flavor. Yeah, you wouldn't know it was straight up dill, but it would go with it. It would go with that. It would go with the pork.
So I had a question to ask you. Do you feel like you need specific things in a wrap, in a rib wrap? Like when you make a rum punch, you always say you need so many parts sweet, so many parts sour, so many parts bitter. Do you feel like
strong.
Yeah, so many parts alcohol. Yeah. Do you feel like you have some type of ratio like that in a wrap?
So I always go for at least 3 things, and it's the richness. That's usually the butter element. That's your fat. Kind of add some oil to it. I like to have some heat. Usually that's either from another seasoning, from like a pepper jelly, or, you know, some kind of like tiger sauce or rib candy, something like that element. And then I like that vinegar element. And usually I get that from like my vinegar sauce. And so that's, or another barbecue sauce. You know, a lot of times we'll sweeten them up. We'll add brown sugar, we'll add honey, things like that. So those elements just go in a wrap. Richness, some heat, some sweet, some liquid, and you're getting that liquid from your sauce, you know, or you could add juice even.
Yeah.
And that kind of works too. But those are the elements that I like to see.
So
and that's more so in a competition rib, or, you know, something that you're really wanting to amp up the flavor on. Like if it's just a good old eating rib, I may just wrap them with nothing.
Yeah.
Or just add a little apple juice.
Or just butter.
Or don't even wrap them.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just butter. But like, you know, if you really want to take a rib up a notch, kick it up, like those, you know, honey jalapeno ribs are, you need to add those elements to it.
So, but you could kind of plug and play.
Yeah, definitely. You can add
vinegar.
yeah, that's right. But I like that all just goes together. The richness, the vinegariness, the, you know, the acidity, the sweetness, and the heat. Those 4 elements make a good rib.
Jay will use, I've seen him use bacon grease before.
I've seen him use that. He's a country crock man too. He'll spoon big dabs of country crock in there.
So that
you know,
would
and
be
parquet was one that, I mean, margarine was one that everybody used. And you saw that in competitions, and you get ate up on social media for using parquet because it's, you know, artificial or whatever. But
hydrogenated oil or something.
yeah, soybean oil product.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I mean, heck, it's easy. The whole thing with using that parquet in there was it's in a squeezy bottle. You squeeze it out and you throw it away when it's empty. You don't have to worry about unwrapping a stick of butter, messing up a knife, cutting it. You know, your butter getting waterlogged from throwing it in the cooler. You can just throw that blue bottle in there. Works its magic. The magic is it adds richness, and that's what that fat does. That's in the product. So it could be butter, it could be bacon grease, it could be margarine. It would work. Or it could be tallow, you know, like lard.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that. I've used regular lard before for pork.
Have you ever used Crisco?
Never used Crisco.
What is Crisco?
I guess it's I don't know. It's a
That's what they
fake
use fried
lard.
chicken in.
Yeah, fake lard.
Fake
It's
lard,
shortening. Whatever that is. I don't know if it has any animal product in it. I would imagine Crisco is a plant-based product, isn't it?
I want to say yeah.
Grease.
Yeah.
Solidified vegetable oil.
I wouldn't want it in my rib.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
know.
good for your arteries, they say. Neither is butter. But
So after you had it wrapped, how do you know when your ribs are done with the wrap?
so
And how long did you let them go in
they
there?
wrapped it was about 2 hours, I would say. That total cook time was about 4.5. I did jack the temperature up when I wrapped them because I wanted them to render down. And so with ribs, if you start them out low and slow, you know, you get the smoke effect, but they're behind internally. So when you wrap them, you can make up some of that time you could keep the temperature the same. It's going to take longer, but you make up some time by increasing the grill temp. And on a pellet grill, it's easy. You just dial it up. So I jumped up to 275. It was simulating the stick burner type heat. And it got the ribs done. And I think it was about 2 hours, if I remember right. Hour 45.
I thought it was less than that. Yeah.
Might have been hour 45. So I always start checking them. It's about hour and 15, hour and a half. This is where I'm looking for tenderness. So what you can tell when a rib's wrapped, first off, when you pick it up, you should be able to feel that rib trying to flex in there. You can notice, even though it's wrapped up tight, it's got some bend, some give. That's the first sign that, these ribs are close. I can feel them when I touch them. And then when I open them and let the steam out, I'm looking for disintegration on the backside of the bone. And you'll notice when I cook ribs, I always start them out meat side up to get the bark right. And then when we go in the wrap, we flip them meat side down. One, that's to help from gravity separating the ribs. Like if you were to cook those ribs meat side up, bones on the bottom, the bones get heavier and they want to fall out of the rib. So when you get that disintegration, they'll be left there in the full and you'll just pick up meat. You don't want that. So to keep those bones intact, we flip them upside down. That also helps me to see the backside of them as soon as I open them up without having to handle them. Gives me an easy place to temp them because I can see right in between the bones if I want to check doneness. I mean, for me, a rib is done 202, 204, right in there with the right feel. Should be soft, almost no resistance. I mean, you can just a little bit, but that thermometer, when you poke it or a toothpick or a skewer or whatever you're sticking it with, should just go right into the meat, super soft. And when you see that disintegration, the bones have got drawback on them where the meat's cooked off the edges and the drawbacks were a little bit more of the bones sticking out. That's a good telltale sign. And then they're super soft to the temperature or to the feel. And then when you temp them, they're 202, 204, they're done. Now, are they finished? No, we still got to finish them. They're done cooking. I'm not trying to render them anymore. I'm not trying to increase the temp of them anymore. That's a done rib. But I still like to get them out of that liquid that they're in. I like to, put a sauce on the backside, flip them over carefully because you don't want them to fall apart because they're going to be tender. Sauce the top, hit them with a little more dry rub, set them back on the rack to dry out. Because when you wrap a rib, what it does to that bark that we built on the front end is it makes it super soft again. It's cooking all that liquid out of the rib, that fat's rendering. We've added moisture to the wrap. We had the vinegar in there, had the honey in there, the butter melting, all that's trying to wash off the seasoning that we worked hard to stick to it. So you need something else to get that look back.
I have seen you do before. You just put rub on, let
set
it
them back.
sit.
Yeah, in the contest we do that.
Yeah, and then glaze it.
That's right. But we have a lot more liquid in there a lot of times in the contest
yeah.
rib too. And it does. I mean, but
same thing.
It does the same way. You can do it both ways. I've seen people sauce them and rub them too. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that's what I did in this instance. And I wasn't really at that point. I didn't want to add any more salt to it, so that's why I like the barbecue rub there because it's not a super salty rub. It's balanced, so you get all that color. You get some of the sweetness in it, and you get the barbecue flavor without it being salty. If I would have added more of the garlic jalapeno, it would have made it a salty rib.
Yeah.
So you got to really watch.
And you didn't have the color in the garlic jalapeno.
You didn't have any color,
anyway.
yeah. So you got to watch, like on that, what'd you say called a finishing rub, is don't put anything that's going to be off flavor, too salty, too hot.
That's why the barbecue rub works really good for that.
Because it gets you all your color back,
Yeah.
all your look back without adding, without adding anything that's going to be
Too crazy.
too crazy.
Yeah, or too strong.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the sauce.
I
what
love
made
this
these?
jalapeno sauce.
So the great thing about that new Traeger grill is it's got an induction burner right on the side of it. You don't have to mess with gas. Induction, if anybody knows, is you got to have a special pan, like a pan that's magnetic kind of. You can stick a magnet to it. It'll work on an induction burner. And that's when it heats up. So if you turn that thing on and you don't have a pan on it, it's not going to burn you. It's cool to the touch. It won't even get hot.
That's one thing I did notice. We were setting rubs on the little induction thing or setting some things there while you're building your sauce, and it
doesn't get hot.
Yeah.
It gets the pan hot without itself getting too hot.
How does that work?
Induction. Science. Thermodynamics. I don't know. I don't know.
That sounded like you know.
Yeah, it sounded like I knew, didn't it? But anyway, so as those ribs were cooking in the wrap, I knew I had plenty of time, so I made together my jalapeno sweet honey sauce. And this sauce, you got to try it. It's worth it. Just try that sauce.
It'd be good on chicken.
It'd be good on wings. It'd be good on barbecue chicken. It'd be good on anything.
We did put it on them with some
Yeah,
wings.
we did. I mean, if you noticed in that video, I had a ton of wings on there, so we wanted to eat wings that day. And there was so much room on that grill to cook, we just said, we'll cook something else. So for that sauce, I started out sauteed some thinly sliced jalapeno, a little bit of butter. I wasn't trying to like caramelize the jalapeno. I just wanted to soften it up, get that rawness off of it. And I found that cooks out some of the heat because I guess it takes out some of that oil and the seeds and all that. I didn't deseed it or anything. I just sliced it up thin. It was maybe 2-3 minutes tops, sauteing the peppers around in the butter.
I thought it was a little longer than that.
It didn't take long. I just kind of, cooked them where they weren't vividly green.
Yeah.
I wasn't, you didn't want them to brown or anything.
They smelled really good. Yeah. I wonder if they would have got you, like if you put your nose down in there and breathed in real
I don't know.
deep.
It was outside, so you wasn't worried about pepper spraying yourself inside. Then went in some brown sugar, went in some more honey. Now, at that point, I didn't use the Mike's hot honey because I figured that, one, my vinegar sauce that I add to it has some heat to it. And jalapeno is going to have some heat. I didn't need the added heat. If you like them spicy, go ahead and use that Mike's hot honey there. Or just grab regular honey bear, squeeze him in there. And then I poured in some vinegar sauce, and I let it all come together, brought it to a simmer, reduced the heat down on the induction burner, and just let it sit there and go for, 10, 15 minutes till it kind of thickened up some. We wasn't trying to like cook it down to a syrup. I still wanted to have a sauce-like finish.
Yeah,
and
that's what it
up.
did.
Yeah, and then I poured it up in a jar and just let it hang out at room temp and let the stuff run all over the jar. It's harder than you think to pour sauce from a pan, a frying pan.
We need like one of those.
I needed a
funnel.
Yeah, that'd work.
A jar funnel.
A jar filler. But yeah, it was that, and that this also, it was a simple sauce. Was it four things or 5 things? Vinegar, brown sugar,
honey,
jalapeno, and butter.
And your butter.
Yeah. So 5 things. Easy, simple sauce. And I put the measurements to it in the recipe. So if you look in the comments on the video, you can see the actual recipe for it, but you can eyeball it like I did too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of by
and
feel.
adjust it however you want.
Yeah,
really.
adjust it however you want. Yeah.
You want it less sweet, add less honey.
That's right. But it's not super sweet. It's not super hot.
It's sticky.
But it was a jalapeno flavored sauce for sure. And that was it's good enough to jar.
It was really,
I was
really
like, you ever
good.
seen the honey jalapeno barbecue sauce for sale? I was like, well, we might have one here because it was good. And they brushed on the back side of the ribs, on the top side, hit them with that barbecue rub, put them back on the pit, 10, 15 minutes, took them off and sliced into them. Those ribs were juicy. They had that one bite where all the rib doesn't fall off the bone. It was like a contest style doneness to it. They were tender, had the smoke ring. I mean, they were really good, really good.
So there was a debate on the community page, the Let's Get to Cooking community page this week, where someone said, "Are my ribs ever done if the bone pulls out?"
Not necessarily.
You've either nailed them just right.
Yeah, because I mean, a spare rib is tougher to do because they kind of have that little knuckle in. A loinback rib, you can work it and you can twist it and you can free it up. It doesn't mean the rib's overcooked. It just means that you've kind of done a little trick and twisted it and broke it loose to where you can slide it out. And you created that channel and slide it back in. Because I've done that in comps before, and people say, "Oh, that rib must be overcooked."
But then you'll pick it back up and
then,
shake it.
It's not a fall apart rib. I mean, now if you cook it to where you pick them up and they're all laying there, you've nuked the heck out of them. But if you can, if you notice, so one on ribs, if I'm going to do that little trick to them where I'm going to slide the bones out, I'm going to leave just a little bit of membrane on the edge of the rib. I'm going to slice it. And I don't tell people this. I don't, you don't tell them the tricks always, but you leave just, you say you pull the membrane off. Well, you score the membrane, you leave a strip of it on, and that'll hold them. And that way you can put a little extra force in getting those bones out. And when you do it, you kind of do that like before, like in a contest, before a judge ever comes up. We've already found the slab of ribs that we want to be that one. You don't. This is like behind the curtain type stuff.
I know you're not supposed to tell this stuff,
but we've already worked them ribs loose and we've twisted on them because you can't crank on a rib right there in front of somebody and show them. They're like, man, that ain't working.
Yeah,
it's
like
staged,
a magician.
it's a magic show. Yeah, all that stuff's tricks. You don't. I mean, that's just for show. That's part of the dog and pony part of it. But if you're doing it, and it's easy to do on camera when you can cut and get the rib right and put it back in and all that. That's all tricks. But really, actually, you've got to work them a little bit to get that bone out. So they're not overcooked. No, they're not overcooked. If that bone will come out, it just means you've done a little trickeration.
But
I mean, don't people do cooking tricks? I don't know. Am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one.
I know you're not the only one. I know other people.
You can't tell them all. I mean, heck, everybody'd be beating you if you told them all.
But if you're cooking in the backyard and your bone's coming out, it's probably a little.
If it's laying there, you've done nuked it. If you can wiggle it and free it up and get it out, it's not necessarily. And it could be. It's a texture thing. You got to know the feel.
Yeah.
You got to know the temperature. You got to know how to get that bone out and put it back the right way. There's more to it than just cooking it.
But those
we
ribs
wouldn't
were
go get
good.
into tricks today. You popped that one on me.
I didn't know you were going to spill the beans.
You know me, I'm an open book.
You don't know when to stop talking sometimes. I know that.
That's why I'm good at the judging table. Just keep telling them what they want to hear.
So those ribs were really good. Your jalapeno.
Yeah, that's
Honey
solid
jalapeno
recipe.
ribs.
Solid recipe. I think everybody should try that one if you like jalapeno flavor and you like a sweet offset heat, they're real good.
I liked how the pieces of the jalapeno were still in the sauce. And so when you glazed them on, you could
see some little chunks of jalapeno.
And you could bite into it and get a little bite.
You could even, to make them
good.
more, you could garnish it with the little jalapeno at the end too if you wanted to. And you could probably do it with the pickled jalapeno in the sauce. I had never tried that. That's the first time I put that sauce together. I just thought about it. I knew it'd be good though.
So let's talk about that Traeger Timberline XL.
The new grill.
The new grill.
It's a beast.
It's an awesome freaking grill.
Yeah. I mean, Now, don't get me wrong. Is this grill for everybody? No. I mean, you got, not everybody's going to buy a $4,000 grill. I understand that.
So
not everybody's wearing Yeezys. Not everybody's got the Tacovas on. The half a rack boots.
So the Timberline,
it's fancy. I mean, it's a fancy new grill.
It's $3,500, and the XL, the one that you cooked on, is $3,800.
And the difference is it's comparable to like the old Timberline was what, the $850, and then they had the $1,300.
Okay.
So it's like they've got a Timberline new.
I thought this had
$850
bigger
and
capacity.
XL. I mean, it's over 1,300 square inches. It's like 1,329. Maybe 29 more inches. But what they've done, they've added that rack system. And so you've got more usable rack space because it'll cook, I want to say 16 racks of ribs, 16 chickens, or 12 pork butts is what they claim you can get on it. And I hadn't tried that.
That's a lot of pork butts.
I need to try it. 12 butts on a cooker that size footprint.
Yeah.
That's a
lot.
lot.
10 pounders.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot.
How many racks of ribs were you supposed to get on there? I could
16.
see that.
I could have got a case of ribs on that grill.
Yeah.
For sure. With the
all
racks,
day
long. Yeah, all day long.
But I'm with you. I don't know about the pork butts. We'd have to test it.
I mean, that wouldn't have been hard at all because I could have cooked 4. I bet I could get more than 16 on that. More than 16 racks of ribs on it.
You had you said something funny the other day. If they were smart, their marketing team would have just gone ahead and said, "You can't afford this grill."
Yeah, this grill's not for you. It's not for everybody. It's for the serious person that don't mind dropping a dime and wants the latest and greatest grill. Is it for everybody? Heck no. Go get you a Rectech. Go get you a Pit Boss. Whatever you want to cook on. This one's not for you. Go get you a cheaper Traeger. This one is not for you. If you live in a house, I'm not going to get into that. Your mortgage ain't at least $2 or $3 a month. You probably don't need this grill. This is for the serious outdoor backyard patio. You know what I mean? This ain't something you're going to put outside the trailer. You don't want a grill that's going to be as much as your monthly house note. I mean, for real. I mean, being honest, it's an expensive grill. I've got some other expensive grills too. That's what I compare it to. Now, I guess the question is, if you're going to spend that much on a grill, would you buy a pellet grill or would you step up and put that towards a steak
something
burner
else
or a different grill? I don't know.
I'm a big fan of the pellet grills, personally.
I like the ease of them. I do love the new touchscreen on it.
Awesome.
The controller on this one is like no other controller I've seen on a grill. Now, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to copy it, and then everybody's going to have this touch screen grill, LCD display with the dial and knob, and all that was smooth. It reacted. The heat on it was good. The new convection system's awesome on it. It's got 4 or 5 different sensors on the thing to prevent flare-ups.
You can hold it.
The grease system's awesome on it. All your grease, all your ash go down into one compartment. And the way that works, they've got, I wouldn't get into like showing how this grill works.
Yeah.
But it's got the pellet hopper on one side, and that's where it's got a shorter auger, so it doesn't have as far to travel. Well, it's got a fan on there, and anything that doesn't blow, it clears out, and it's got like a little arch that blows it up, and the fan blows it down into that bucket that goes down in the bottom. They call it the ash keg. And the whole time the grease is channeling down into the same thing, but it's got a chute to keep it away from any heat. There's no way grease can get to any heat. That's
my question. Yeah.
And it's going straight into that. So, I mean, yeah, that's the only thing I saw about it is the drip tray. You need to protect it some kind of way. And I don't think they're going to sell liners for it. What I did was took one of the Timberline regular 1300 liners and cut a hole in it, cut a slit to where that's my drip tray, and it's going back to it.
But you could use
it's even got like a little chimney housing over it to prevent anything from getting out of it. So they've thought about that. It's going to be interesting to see if somebody can make it flare up.
Yeah,
I don't think
catch it
you
on
can.
fire. Yeah,
it's got too many. It's got a foolproof flame up system on it.
That's pretty cool.
The only way it might flame out is if you ran it out of pellets. You had to do one ignition cycle. You let it run out of pellets, but it still had some in the hopper, and then you turned it back on and had to drop a bunch more. Maybe then it could get. I still don't know if it would. The fan might kick in. I don't know.
Talking about the hopper, it'll hold more than a bag of pellets, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, it holds 22 pounds, and most of the average bag of pellets 20 pounds, I think.
I hate filling up
And having little remnants left over.
in my
like
bag.
you got this, couple inches left in the bottom.
And you don't want to throw it away, you
Yeah.
know, but it won't fit. So you got to hold it. And I like the fact that it has a pull.
Clean out super easy.
Yeah.
I never use them on the other ones because it's on the back. It's a hassle. But this one's right there, and you put one of their pellet tubs under it. I guess the grill comes with one. Mine came with one. It's like a pellet storage thing, but it's perfect for doing trading out, swapping out flavors.
Or just cleaning it out. You know,
just
you need to
cleaning
clean
it
it
out
out
in general,
sometimes. So
They moved the pellet sensor on it instead of being up in one of the corners where that was one of my complaints with the other one. Mine was always beeping at me because you fill in pellets and it's in the corner, and when it feeds down, it's like it feeds down from that corner for some reason, the way the gravity pulls them down.
Mm-hmm.
And it thinks the pellet thing's low when you've got a 3/4 of a hopper and it just has one little area. Well, this one's should give you a little better laser read on what you actually have in there.
And it won't give you a
false beeps.
Yeah.
It didn't do it on me running it all day. Never, and it didn't use that many pellets. It's got the downdraft system. That was pretty cool, the way heat circulates in it and smoke. So it makes its own convection and pulls it back down the bottom.
It's got the storage underneath, which I like that.
The extra storage, the soft closed doors, the clean out's easier than instead of being on the end. It's got that one can. That reminds me of like I know people have seen the Weber grills. It's got the clean out right up under it. It's like you squeeze this thing and drop it down and it comes out. The keg's similar to that. It's got a snap-in feature, a button on it. It's got liners for that to make that clean out easy. You could put full in it, or if you don't put something, you just got to degrease it and wash it. That sucks. But
yeah, I thought it was pretty slick.
The induction burner, I love that. Some people say, I saw some people commenting that adding a $40 induction burner does not make a feature. I don't know where you can get a $40 induction burner.
Amazon, right?
They're not $40. The one I used for videos, and I didn't buy like the cheapest one, and I didn't buy the most expensive one. It was like $250 for a countertop model.
So that was $250.
They're not cheap, but they work. They work.
There's some on
really
Amazon
good.
for $50, $70
For a straight. I wonder if they work good. I don't know if the review's good on them.
I'm not.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The one I bought was $250, so I would think they at least spend probably that on it. But it's not an expensive feature, but I like it better than gas.
Yeah,
I'd rather have that instead of gas, and it's better than like a hot eye.
Yeah, it'd be easier to clean and keep clean. I wonder when you put it outside how much you will really use that induction. I do wonder that. Because we're talking real cooking. I know you use it a lot with your videos and stuff. You'll use induction, but
I warm up sauces and I do stuff like that all the time on it, so I can see
keeping
doing that right there and being able to simmer something, do it right there. Now, pellet grill, I know what they were thinking. People want to, cook steaks on a pellet grill where they're not the best grill to do steaks on. But if you've got your iron skillet over there and an iron skillet works with an induction burner, you can take that steak right from your reverse sear or whatever piece of meat you're doing, put it in that iron skillet outside. A lot of times if you're searing stuff, you don't want to do that indoors.
Yeah,
because you got that skillet hot and it's going to smoke up, set your kitchen smoke alarm off. So it makes a big deal to be able to do that outside, to keep that smoke outside. I think I'll use it now.
I figured you would use the indoor burner more than an induction.
I use my induction burner outside all the time. I think it works great.
Yeah, when we're filming videos.
Even for frying, you could put your Dutch oven on it.
You could use it for frying.
And instead of splattering grease all over your stove or your counter inside, you can do it right there at the grill.
Splatter it on your $4,000 grill.
Splatter it on your $4,000 grill.
So I Googled.
Would I run out and buy one? I probably wouldn't run out and buy one right now. I'd let people cook on them a while and see how they do. But if you're the kind of person that likes higher end fancy things, that's the grill for you.
So I Googled high end pellet grills just to see what else would come up. And I was shocked by
the price tag out of it. Well, hey, I got one sitting right on my patio right now that I cook on, that Memphis grill. What do you think that thing cost?
$6,000.
Easy. It might be $7,000 now.
So the first thing that popped up was a $3,000 Rectech.
I didn't know they had one that expensive.
I didn't either.
That's what my dad has.
Is it really?
Oh, really?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 2500 BFG Rectech.
Yeah.
think it has like a 40-pound hopper on the back.
Really?
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Has it got a double auger system or something, or a
Yes.
double fire pot maybe?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's more of a pain in the butt because you got to you have to pick up this big old bag of pellets, turn it up, and then pour it.
Yeah,
He has it up
that's
against
like
the
the
wall.
Memphis
That's the
grill. You got to
Memphis.
load it from the pellets
Yeah.
on the back, which I always thought was weird.
And it spills everywhere. It gets kind of dusty back there.
It looks cool though.
Yeah.
So as far as high end grills go, it's about on par.
Yeah, I would say it's even a little low end. Pits and Spits has some really expensive pellet grills. The Memphis has some really high end pellet grills. FEC's even had really high pellet grills.
they do.
And when I'm saying high end, I'm talking like the price tag is
Upwards of
$2,800 and
up.
above.
Yeah.
Twin Eagles, they have one for $9,000.
I've never heard of a Twin Eagle. Is it all stainless, like a Memphis grill?
Yeah,
See, and what
Yoders.
Traegers do it? Yoders are expensive.
$4,500
Yeah,
for the high end Yoder.
Yeah. But what they're really doing is competing with these built-in grills that people are putting in outdoor kitchens. So this grill is made to go right in.
Yeah.
It has the doors. They have a trim kit for it that trims it right in. So as long as you leave your space in your outdoor kitchen, you can put this grill right in place. You know, it's got the tops, everything on it, and it's ready to go. It's ready. It looks like it's built. It looks like it's built in ready.
Have you ever heard of Kalamazoo?
Is that Michigan somewhere? I've never heard of the grill.
I fell into that website, and they are the high end. And now they're mostly gas grills.
Yeah, and
But they're the built-ins.
you'll notice that's the look for a lot of these pellet grills are going for now. They're going for that gas
slick
grill.
Yeah.
Sporty grill, built-in look.
So these Kalamazoos, they're mostly gas, and they have some pellet capability. They call them some kind of flex grill. Anyway, guess what the range is?
$10,000 and up. Higher than $10,000 for a grill? Wow.
I'm talking they're starting
I
15 to 30 grand
might need to check out one of them.
for a grill. 30 grand.
Yeah, that's the Bentley of grills. There.
Yes.
That done went over sports car. They're up in the upper level.
Can you imagine spending 30 grand on a grill?
I ain't running with the right people. You all got those.
Kalamazoo ain't calling you.
Kalamazoo ain't calling me. Yeah, it probably got a yacht model too. It goes on your. How long is your yacht? This is the grill we recommend. It goes on based on the size of your yacht.
Yeah. That's what Jeff Bezos is.
Traeger
putting
ain't there
in his.
yet. That's it's Jeff Bezos' grill. That's the one he has. Him and Zuck. they got the Kalamazoos, huh?
I mean, no, Zuckerberg cooks on a big green egg.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Did like a live stream.
Yeah, he
or
does
something.
lives cooking on
Cooking
it.
on big green eggs.
Or he used to. I don't know. He's probably trying to keep his profile low these days. But anyway, yeah, I was really, I was sticker shocked.
Yeah,
I was thinking that Traeger was going really high end with this, but when I started looking at it,
you realize it's not as high as you thought.
not as high as I thought.
$4,000 ain't as much money as you thought it was anymore.
That's
It's not. It's
true.
really. That's the truth.
That's
It's
the
like
truth.
$4,000 ain't $4,000 for what it is. They probably should have charged $8,000 for it.
Started looking at the.
But I
grill
do like the
cheap.
marketing approach. With this grill is not for everybody. I mean, Traeger didn't do that.
Just go ahead
They
and
just
make
go ahead
it
and put that
exclusive.
out there. Yeah.
Because
We're
that's
gonna-
my biggest
let's
complaint
push
about
you
it.
to these other models, maybe a different brand.
And all of a sudden, folks want it.
Yeah, all of a sudden people want it. Then
Don't tell me what I can afford.
I know what I'm about.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem with that.
Maybe they're getting
that
into the
Timberline
financing
itself.
market too. You can finance
Probably.
these grills, easy pay them.
But yeah, I love the grill. I thought it was super slick and really pretty.
I would say, and here's another thing I would say: the people that are being negative or making bad comments on these higher end grills have never cooked on a higher end grill.
So, what do you think's the difference between a $800 to $1,000 under $1,000
Yeah.
pellet grill and a $4,000 pellet grill? What
And
is the
works
biggest
of
difference?
it?
Yeah.
Probably not much. When it all comes down to it, they cook. You know, you just need something to make heat and produce smoke. I mean, one is
I'd
you could
say
say I
insulation.
paid $4,000, I paid $8,000, I paid $30,000. You got me wanting one of these $30,000. Nobody I can say, look what I got. That's just the mentality, you know.
Kalamazoo.
Yeah, that's a Kalamazoo. Got that?
The flex.
Yeah, that's right.
I would say insulation would be a. Do you think that they're insulated better?
No, I don't know. I mean, materials, yes, they're probably made
They're
out
a
of better
higher end
quality
metal.
stuff. Yeah, usually it's durability. You know, if you're paying less money for something, it's not going to be as durable or function as long as spending some money on something. That's usually the case. But there comes with a price tag, usually just some of it's just not true either. It's just they just put a price tag on certain stuff, and that's what they want for it. So and that demand makes it. Nobody buys these grills, they'll probably have to lower the price.
Yeah.
That's the way companies do. But evidently there's a market out there for it, or there wouldn't be other grills in that price range.
A lot of other grills in that price range. And that's what shocked me is how many there were.
Average person's not, I said that first. Average person is not going to get one of these grills because people ain't spending that much.
I want to know.
If you got a $100,000 car, why not have a $10,000 grill? Yeah.
I remember when Big Green Egg was getting knocked off really bad. And everybody was asking us questions about the Acorn and I think Gorilla had one.
Yeah.
There was several knockoffs of that Big Green Egg style.
Vision. All that.
And people would ask you, like, what's the difference? And your thing was, well, they cook the same. You just have different finishes.
Yeah.
You have stronger hinges and better handles.
That's
and
right.
little things like that you paid the extra money
Same
for.
thing for that. Traeger's got the pop and lock.
We didn't even talk about that.
I know. I like the pop and lock too. Isn't that a dance? That pop and lock dance? I think it is.
You did one.
You pop it and lock it.
Do you have that footage?
I saw Matt Pittman on his pop and lock. I guess his came with a seasoning little cabinet.
Oh yeah, they have all kinds of accessories for it. It's got a spice rail. It's got a paper towel or butcher paper holder. Has a table that folds up or whatever.
So what is the pop and lock? Because we didn't talk about
It's like
that.
a little rail that goes around. It looks like a handicap rail or something on the outside of it.
And they just have
they got this thing
pop in.
designed accessories where it goes in and pops and you turn it, twist it, and it locks in and you don't have to do anything else. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. All in all, I like the grill. What was your thoughts? All in all?
It's a step up. It's a step up for Traeger for sure. Step towards that higher end. What I realize now is I need to try some more of these high end grills. I'm going to need to add a few more to my collection so I can give it a fair shake. It wouldn't be fair for me to say that one's really good when I haven't tried these other ones. The Memphis grill, I love it. It's a great grill. It's all stainless. Does it cook about the same as that Traeger? Yeah. I would say they cooked about the same. It's double the price almost, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know what the new Memphis grill is.
I probably have it pulled up because I pulled up a lot of these.
Now I've got the Kalamazoo on my written. I've got before I can speak to these others, I've got to try one of those. I have to take out another mortgage, but maybe I can start my Only Pitmasters and get me a Kalamazoo grill with it.
I don't have that pulled up.
Anyway, I'll do some research on that. Leave that up to me. I'm great at that.
I know that's what worries
money
me.
on grills.
You know how to spend money on guns and grills. And
yeah.
ATVs.
That's the way I look at these grills too. I could shoot an old Sears and Roebuck shotgun. Do I want to shoot that good? No, I want the high end, Benelli or whatever. That's how I roll.
I think
you don't want the Walmart purse. You want the
that's
nice
true.
coach.
That's true.
Just how
So Sunday, you grilled me a steak.
Your birthday, you got a steak.
Yep.
That's what you wanted.
Yep. We woke up.
How was it?
It was really good.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a good steak. You know where I got that steak? Walmart.
Well, we did.
It was a last minute decision.
Yeah.
Shell woke up and said, I'd really like a steak dinner for my birthday. So I hooked you up. Baked potato, asparagus,
I told you Walmart would
a
have.
couple bottles of wine.
I told you Walmart would have the.
They did.
The
That
good
was
steak.
it was just it was labeled as Angus. I don't remember if it said choice, but I'm sure it was. But I picked out some marbled up spinalis steaks. You took some pictures of them.
Yeah.
Put it on the story that day, and they were, man, I'm telling you what, they were excellent. I would cook that steak any day.
I've thought that about the
tender, it
last
was
few
juicy.
Walmart steaks I got.
Texture on it was awesome. I didn't do anything special to it. You like yours Worcestershire a little bit, let it sit. AP, let it sit. Then we put
Prime beef.
some of Swan Lice prime beef and a little steak seasoning right before they went on, just for some texture. Heated up the old trusty Weber kettle with some grill grates, and I did the you're more on the rare side, like not super rare, but you call it rare plus when you order a steak. That's why you like it. It's in between rare and it's in between medium rare. I like my medium rare, but when I cook them for you, I know that your steak's probably not going to be on the grill longer than 6.5, 7 minutes, and it's got to be coming off. So that's the time
and
I
these
ran
are
on.
kind of thick.
Yeah, they were probably 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 thick.
Yeah.
They I mean, I want to say if I had to guess on the ounces, they were at least 18-ounce steaks. I didn't look, but just being that thickness and that size, I didn't trim them. I didn't tie them. Didn't do none of that to them.
I don't like them trimmed and tied.
You like all natural.
Yes. I want them crunchy little fat pieces on the edges.
But they were good, weren't they? I went,
They're very good.
about 1:45 every turn. So 1:45, turned them, 1:45, flipped them, did the same thing, temped them, saw that I was getting like 122. I said, oh, that's done for shell. So we got them off. They raised up. I was just curious. I sat there at the counter with them. I didn't cover them. I just kept my thermopan and kept watching them, and they finished at about 127.
Okay,
so
that's
I got
perfect.
5 degrees on them internal, and then, man, but what I did do is I took a stick of butter and I had it sitting out and got it soft, and then I mixed it up with some, put a little prime beef in it, put some TX in it, put a little parsley in it, and just let it, like, whipped it up and just let it sit there. And before I took those steaks up, I put a big dollop of that butter down and laid that steak on it. And it kind of, as some of the juice comes out of the steak and it mixed with that melted butter, when I took the steaks up and plated them for us to eat, I took that sauce that it made and just put it up in a little, glass cup. And that was kind of our steak sauce. And you drizzle that over the steak. Oh, man. Steak butter at its finest right there.
When I can put my fork on a steak and kind of do this and the steak just wiggles.
Yeah.
You got to get the
I'll let you pick, too. I'll let you come. I says, all right, Shell, before we sit down, before we have dinner, feel these steaks and, check them, see which one you think you want. And you picked out one, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it was very wiggly.
Michael loved his. I mean, we've got him eating medium rare, too. So
he's kind of the other end of the spectrum. I'm rare plus, you're medium rare. He's more
medium. He's not. Yeah. He doesn't want any more medium.
Yeah,
he better be red for him. He don't. If he doesn't see it like that, and he's not going to eat any fat. So he only likes the eye of a ribeye. I don't like do nothing special and get him only a strip or only a fillet. No, if we're eating ribeye, you're getting a ribeye. You can eat the non-fatty parts if you want. So he eats the eye of it, and it leaves the spinalis. And usually that's my snack the next day. But it was great. Did the baked potato with loaded baked potato. You got to have the loaded baked potato, plenty of butter, sour cream, bacon, green onions. That's all you need.
Cheese.
5 things. That makes
5
it. So I set those out, but I cooked some bacon in the oven. I kept that bacon grease, and I cooked my bacon early, and I cooked that bacon grease and let it kind of cool off on the counter. I take just baking potatoes, wash them, let them dry, and brush them with that bacon grease all on the outside, and then season them with some TX and some chimichurri seasoning, the Alfregoni stuff. It makes this awesome crust on the outside of a baked potato. So you eat the skin. That's where all your vitamins and nutrients are, they say. And then the inside soft and pillowy.
With that bacon and salt.
It takes about an hour 15 on 400 degrees in the oven.
Yeah.
That's the way I do those. And don't wrap them in foil or anything. You want them. You like them turned halfway. And then
I think they get too brown on the bottom if you don't turn them halfway.
Yeah.
Using that method.
And then a little asparagus drizzled in some more bacon fat.
Did you
seasoned with a little AP?
Normally it's just
olive
oil, but
on birthday you got to go all out. Bacon fat makes everything better. If I would have thought about it, I'd have put a spoon. I didn't think about that, but a spoon of that bacon fat in that butter. That would have been good too. That'd have been really good.
No wonder I was hurting the next day.
No, that was the wine.
I sent you a TikTok. Did you watch it?
Was it the crescent rolls?
Yeah.
It was pastrami. It was thin sliced pastrami, and they had crescent roll, and they triangle cut it.
It was like it's like they made their own crescent roll.
Yeah. It was like a dough sheet.
So it was a huge crescent roll.
And they took a pizza roller and cut a big triangle, and then they put Dijon, or it looked like stone ground or spicy mustard something, and they put strips of that pastrami down, and then put cheese on top of it.
I bet it was provolone.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And then rolled it up like a crescent roll and baked it. But they hit it with egg wash. I didn't pay attention.
I didn't see them hit it with egg wash.
They probably bet they did. And then baked it, and they cut it, and it looked like a pastrami pinwheel inside a crescent roll. I said, ooh, I got to try that.
That's what I want you to try.
Why couldn't you do it with regular crescent rolls? Like
It would just be mini ones.
Yeah.
These were like the size of a croissant. You know, like a regular croissant.
Like a big croissant.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like Pillsbury's Whop crescent rolls where you bang the can, get them to pop open.
I don't see why you couldn't. They would just be smaller versions.
Yeah, that'd be great for an appetizer. I'm gonna try them.
That's
that
a
might
good
be
TikTok.
A TikTok.
Yeah.
My version.
What would you put? What meat would you put in it? You could
just get some deli meat.
That's what I was gonna say. You could get roast beef from the deli.
Yeah, or pastrami from the deli, and try it. See if it worked. That's something to try.
It looked delicious.
Cook them on a little butcher paper on a sheet pan.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a TikTok, Tyler.
Jotting it down.
Jot it down. Mini crescent.
I got
bakes.
it on my list.
Mini crescents.
Going back to the potato just for a second, have y'all ever air fried a baked potato before?
No. Does it work? I've ever tried plenty of French fries.
It goes really, really fast. It's only like 38 minutes, but like you were talking about how it gets brown at the bottom, like it evenly cooks it so well. Like it's really, really good. It crispies. Like the skin gets crispy. So good.
I got to try that.
Yeah.
I bet it would be good with the little, you know how we do the little roasted Yukon Gold babies?
Yeah.
Do those in the air fryer like that. It'd be like mini baked potatoes.
Yep. Also really good. Tried that too. It's like anything.
Hey, I'm a fan of the air fryer.
It's
like I would have been cool if you put that accessory on my grill some kind of way. I didn't think I would ever use an air fryer so much, but man,
everybody was getting them and trying them and using them, and we were kind of late to the party on that one.
I think it's really just an appetizer maker for us. We don't use it for like meals, but it's like we'll get Shella by. Michael loves to cook. He's like any kid. He loves anything chicken. So wings, chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, French fries. We've done all kinds of like frozen type Sam's Club appetizers. I think you went and bought all of them one time.
Well, at Christmas when we were doing
the only downside to it is your basket's only so big, so you can, most things you can only cook a few servings, like 2 servings at a time or something. But you keep that thing rolling. I've seen it cooks the longer you cook on it, the faster it goes at a time.
Yeah.
So you got to throw the time. A lot of times you got to throw the time, whatever the box says, out the window. But
yeah,
Michael does it all the time. He'll open his basket and it's just brown.
Yeah. But I'm pretty impressed with the air fryer, man. That was I wish they'd had one of those when I was a kid.
Heck yeah.
The best frozen thing to cook in there is like those little like chicken and cheese taquitos.
Oh, really? We hadn't tried those.
Oh my gosh.
We tried some, was it wontons, or is it kind of like a wonton? Empanada or something like that. They were really good in there.
Mm-hmm.
They were,
It was a wonton.
Was it wonton? Yeah, I think it was.
Like in the frozen section.
Yeah. And it comes with a little dipping sauce, or we made a little dipping sauce.
We made a dipping sauce.
Yeah. Those were really good. It was like the little gyoza, but air fried, crispy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, something that's really good is the pre-cooked wings, pre-breaded frozen wings from Walmart, Kroger, wherever. Throw them in there.
It's the Tyson Anytizers. That's what they're called.
But
they have buffalo. They have some kind of hot ghost pepper chili. We've tried all different kinds. The rotisserie flavored.
Walmart has some brands that are really good.
One of the best things we've had is those knockoff Chick-fil-A nuggets or bites. Have you ever had those?
No.
They come in a red and white package. It looks like Chick-fil-A would have them, but they sell them at Sam's, and it's like Members Mark brand. And they taste just like. Have you ever had the little chicken bites from Chick-fil-A? They do them. If they could sell the little biscuits to go with them, they'll be onto something. But those things are really good.
There's a TikTok.
How do we get on air fried stuff? When air fryer's good. When you don't have time to grill or smoke. There is other things to cook on.
It's been cold.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll use it as much in the summer, but
yeah, definitely. But it's easy for sausage balls. We were doing sausage balls.
Yeah, they're really good, isn't it?
When you have a lot of people at your house, the air fryer is good.
Quick.
Yeah.
It's a good size machine. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. So what do you have coming up, Mount?
Easter. So we're doing, I'm doing an Easter brisket. I've been working on the recipe on it. I'm probably going to pair it with some, some kind of root vegetables, some carrots, some glazed carrots or something, maybe some potatoes on the smoker. But I'm doing just I guess you'd call it, we never had Easter for our brisket for Easter, but a lot of people do. And so I'm doing my take on it. It's going to be like a braised, most people do it in the oven. It's got almost like a gravy or a sauce with it. cook down onions and garlic, and probably put some wine and some tomatoes. So if you think of like oxtail brisket style is what I'm going for with that. And I think it's going to be really rich, really indulgent, and really good.
So you're going to smoke it and then braise it kind of?
Yeah. You're going to smoke it to get color, because most of the ones I've been looking at, people sear them some kind of way. Like, you
Like
brown
you
a
would a
roast.
roast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do that, and they keep it going in the big roaster. But that's going to be my take on that. So I'm going to do it on the smoker, get some color on it. As soon as I get it browned on the outside, it's going in there and braising down. I'm going to make this awesome sauce in there with it and reduce that sauce a little bit when I take the brisket out to rest it, and then slice it up and serve it with that sauce over the top.
That sounds
and
really good.
along with some vegetables.
That sounds really good.
So that's what that's coming up. I don't know if will it be the next YouTube? Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And we've got some TikToks we're doing this week. We've got some ideas. Doing a pickle tot.
I thought you were doing a brisket croissant.
I've got a croissant down here we can do. I want to do my take on a white cheese dip. See how that turns out. And then I've got, I think I'm going to do a fish burger. I know you like fish sandwiches. It's kind of the month of shells, so good old fish sandwich, fish burger style.
That
just going to be on a round bun instead of a long bun.
Yeah. I like the long bun.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I could change it to fish sandwich instead of fish burger.
No.
But
well,
so that's what I got coming up. I'm looking forward to going down to New Orleans. We're going down to New Orleans next week. Can I tell people that? Or am I not supposed to?
No, let's not tell folks
Yeah.
that.
All right. Look for me in New Orleans. I'll be down there. I'll say where.
We're going to a concert.
Yeah.
With some friends.
That's right.
But anyway, that's all I have today.
All right. Well, hey, that's all I got. Tyler, you want to tell everybody where they can find us? They want to hang out?
Hey guys, if you're
Socially.
looking for an awesome community, make sure you guys head on over to the Facebook Let's Get to Cooking community. It's a growing place where we have tons of like awesome pit masters and like-minded people that can answer your questions and just comment on your cooks and stuff, man. It's a really great place to hang out.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
You sure?
No.
Well, hey, we appreciate everybody listening this week, and we'll be back next week. Do it all again. Before that, we gone.